Ultimately with a resume, it's your opportunity to showcase your capability and what's unique about you and what you can bring to the table. You want to keep your resume nice and crisp and succinct. I always recommend a really brief summary around what makes you you, highlighting your educational qualifications, in particular to your industry sector, then going really quickly into your current role, setting that context around the business and where you're working and the client group that you're working with, and then going into one or two pieces of work or key achievements that you're most proud of and the measurable impact that that's had to your business. Those sorts of stories around how you've added value, those are the things that can really differentiate you in what is ultimately a really competitive market. Ultimately, you want it to be relatively short and succinct. You want to make it easy to identify your skill set and what you can offer. We always advise people to write a resume, then shrink it down again. Don't forget your metrics and your measurable impacts in terms of how you've added value to the business. And I think sometimes saying less is more when you're writing a resume. You can talk about the personal side of things or the detail when you're sitting down with a client one-on-one. All a resume is about is showcasing your skill set to ultimately get your foot in the door to meet with the business. It's practice. Practice makes perfect. I really always advise people when they're first into the job market to be really proactive and put themselves out there. Every interview is an opportunity to hone your skill set around how you present yourself. I think the biggest mistake at interview is to try and articulate everything that you've done really quickly and bombard the interviewer with all the information. My biggest advice is just hold back a little bit, really listen to the question and really focusing on answering the question. You can always go into more detail, check in with the interviewer if they would like you to. But again, it's going back to sometimes a little bit less is more. And lastly, at interview, don't be afraid to be yourself and be authentic. No one wants someone who is a rehearsed robot. Everyone brings their own experiences to the table, and what is unique about you is you, ultimately. Be authentic. Ultimately, everyone brings their own unique set of experiences and capabilities. Tell your story, be clear about your story and who you are. Ultimately, there's no such thing as the perfect fit, but have the confidence in the fact that you've got a lot of experience that you can bring to the table, and be clear about how you articulate that in person as well.